In the Bhakti Sandarbha, these two processes are mentioned, and of course, in general, we'll find in the Gaudiya Sampradaya we have this conception of Pancaratrika-vidhi and Bhagavata-vidhi, and we actually follow both. It's not that it's only Bhagavata-vidhi. So what is the meaning of these? Bhagavata-vidhi actually refers to Nam Sankirtan, chanting the holy name of the Lord. It's the Yuga Dharma. That's called Bhagavata-vidhi. The holy name of the Lord does not require initiation. It only requires faith and association with nice devotees, and then we chant Hare Krishna. And even without faith you can chant, of course, as in the case of Ajamil, you get effect. But as for devotees, they will have faith and they will chant. This process is called the Bhagavata-vidhi. So one can advance simply by chanting, and that is the example of Haridas Thakur. He simply chanted and chanted and chanted and chanted, and he was perfect. So he's called Namacharya. Now the other process is Pancaratrika process, which means the Archana process. We usually equate. Of course, Pancaratrika includes not only Archana, it has conduct, etc. But generally we equate the two things. Pancaratrika means Archana. So this topic comes up in the Bhakti Sandarbha because there's a little contradiction here. Nam Sankirtan is the most powerful process. It's also the Yuga Dharma, and it's taught by Lord Chaitanya as nothing else, nothing else, nothing else, only chanting the holy name. And then we go and worship the deity and do other things. So why we worship the deity at all if chanting the holy name is the ultimate process? So Jiva Goswami explains, yes, that is so. Chanting the holy name is independent, even of Diksha. Whereas worshipping the deity depends on Diksha. You have to have your Krishna mantra or your Gaur mantra in order to worship the deity. Without that, you can't do it. It's not considered Pancaratrika worship. So therefore, Pancaratrika worship means Diksha, initiation, getting those mantras. Bhagavata-vidhi, you just chant Hare Krishna and you don't need initiation. It seems like opposite processes. So, as I said, we do both. So though the Bhagavata-vidhi is independent, that is, chanting the holy name is independent, and you can get perfection by that process, Jiva Goswami explains that in most cases, people are disturbed. Their minds and their hearts are very disturbed by material energy. So they require engagement of their senses. So usually, along with the Bhagavata-vidhi, we engage in deity worship. This is engagement for our senses. And do the deity worship, then we require Diksha. So though the holy name is independent of Diksha, or initiation, generally the Gaudiya Vaishnavas take Diksha also. But the purpose of that Diksha is to worship the deity. Jiva Goswami also says, therefore, generally the Pancaratrika process, Archana, and Diksha itself are for rich grihastas, because they can afford to build temples and hire servants to do all the menial services around that, and then worship the deity very nicely. Whereas a renunciate is living off in Radhakund or somewhere, then he won't have those facilities. So then he simply chants the holy name of the Lord. He relies solely on Bhagavata-vidhi. So the renunciates rely on Bhagavata-vidhi only, and the grihastas, they can do deity worship to accompany their sadhana of chanting the holy name. He makes that comment in one place. So he does indicate once it's not really necessary for renunciates and others, but at the same time, most people in the material world do have disturbed minds, so therefore it is advised that they engage in deity worship. Now, of course, in the modern day, the society has changed, and we don't get many strict renunciates or extreme renunciates, and everyone is disturbed in mind, and social conditions are much different. So therefore, in general, deity worship would be, and Diksha would be recommended along with chanting the holy name.